Peace and blessings, y'all, and welcome to Redefining Authenticity. I am your co-host, Kim Martin Raymond, your toolbox essentialist and founder of Redefining You LLC, where I help my clients to realign themselves, mind, body, and spirit, and also home of the 365-day challenge. Go ahead and ask me where we at.
Where we at?
We are at day 312, y'all. We're getting into the home stretch here. 312 days of talking about things that affect us mind, body, and spirit. And this month of November, we're talking about no. And we're talking about, the importance of saying no and how it affects us physically, mentally, and spiritually. So that's what we're talking about in this month of November. And of course, it's a part of self-care.
Yes. So peace, y'all. Peace, love, and blessings to each and every one of you. Welcome and welcome back to Redefining Authenticity. I am Sheronda L. Barksdale, your life empowerment coach over at Authentically Your Expressions, where I'm helping you live your most authentic life and talking about self-care.
That's it. That's it. Like I said, we started part one of this importance of self-care and filling your cup first. And, it's important that we, especially going into this holiday season, really, really focus in on making sure that we're taking care of ourselves and that we're doing things that are going to help us to get through this season. It's an emotionally driven time of the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I think it's so important for us to really tap in and really make sure that we're preparing ourselves as we go into this season to make sure that we're doing that and that we become familiar with those tools that are going to be necessary to help us to get through this season and into the new year.
Absolutely. So, Carmen, where you at?
I am in beautiful Austin, Texas, and I've
Nice.
been here for a couple of days, and the weather here has actually plunged today. It was only like 67 degrees here, and it's supposed to be 60 degrees here tomorrow. So it's
Oh,
cold.
and I've been getting since Friday a freeze alert. Mind you, yesterday it was in the 70s. This morning it was 70 something. Tonight it's supposed to go to freezing temperature. It's supposed to be 32 degrees here in Atlanta.
Yes.
Tonight, the temperature
Yes.
just plunged all of a sudden. I'm like, who mad?
Child, between the temperature and between flights being canceled and things like that, one of our coworkers left early yesterday, and his flight got canceled, so he didn't leave out until this morning. And
Oh
so
man.
I'm hoping that I don't, it's
Run into
lovely
no
here,
issues.
but I
Yeah.
want to be home. So hopefully, with all of the things that are going on with travel, it may put a little halt on my
It
traveling
may.
for the remainder of the year. And I'm hoping that's the case so that way,
Mhm.
I can be with my family and not be far away with the
Stranded
threat of
or
not being able to get back because, I will get in a whole rental car and drive home if I
okay. What's the
have
plan?
to. So yeah, y'all just keep me in prayers going through that. But again, all of these things that are going on politically, socially, they
Yes.
all affect us in some form or fashion. And so
Yes.
we have to take care of ourselves in
Absolutely.
anticipation of the things that are to come. And so, again, it's all about toolboxes. It's all
Yes.
about preparing ourselves so not that we're caught up in the storm, but that
Yes.
we have that umbrella or whatever it is that we need to get through that storm
Exactly.
successfully. It's
Yes.
important that we create those tools that we're going to need in any
Yes.
situation. And y'all, life has been lifing.
Okay. And
Okay.
as your empowerment coach, I'm going to make sure I empower you with the tools so that you get to determine how this happens.
That's right.
You get to make the decisions, and you are well equipped in order to take care of yourself and understand the importance of taking care of yourself. We fall by the wayside. Life is, like Kim said, life is life, and things are happening. Bills are coming. People are getting sick. People are dying. Things are happening in our lives. But at the same time, we cannot forego self care. We cannot forget about ourselves. We got to feed ourselves. We got to do all the things that we can possibly squeeze into them 24 hours
That's right.
to do. And
That's right.
we're going to start off with a very good one.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okay, so the last time we were together, we were talking about a mindfulness exercise,
Yes.
and we were, and Sharonda helped to take us through this and to talk about, the importance of doing these things
Mhm.
and what a mindfulness exercise looks like. Okay, and so with that, we're going to do another one. We're going to start, this portion of our presentation with another mindfulness exercise. Again, so that we're building the tools that we need and doing the things that we need to get ourselves back to center.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm definitely all about the mindfulness. I love mindfulness. I love for us to be aware of our present moment because that's the only thing we really have control over, right? So our mindfulness exercise is to keep us mindful and ready for whatever's next. So if you can get comfortable and let's listen in.
To begin this mindfulness meditation, just let yourself get into a comfortable position, whatever that looks like for you. When your body feels ready, you may gently close your eyes. With your eyes closed, take a moment to tune inwards. First, simply noticing your body. Tuning in to the weight of gravity, the points of contact between you and the surface on which you are resting. What else do you notice? What is it like for you to be in your body right now? As you observe this, you simply accept and allow whatever it is you notice, harboring no judgment, just being mindful, noticing what is with a sense of compassion in your heart and letting it be. Continue to do this now with your breath as well as your body. If you haven't already, begin to tune into the sensations of breathing. What do you notice? Just observe, accept, and allow. No judgment. Just letting everything be how it is. As you stay mindful of your breath and your body, with a sense of compassion in your heart. Keeping your eyes closed, you allow your awareness to expand to include the space around your body. It's as if you can sense the air around you, the objects around you, and you just allow them to be as you simply are. There's nothing to do, there's nothing to judge. If your mind wanders, that's okay. Don't judge it. Just return your focus to what is. Being connected to your breath, your body, and your sense of presence in the world around you. You let everything simply be, including yourself. You now begin to let your attention travel back, becoming more and more aware of physical sensations by rolling your shoulders, wiggling your fingers and toes, still being mindful of what is, and taking this present moment awareness with you as you slowly begin to open your eyes back to the world around you. Wonderful job doing this practice. We hope you enjoy the rest of your beautiful day.
Lovely.
Lovely.
So lovely. Y'all, that was 5 minutes. That's all.
5 minutes.
Just take 5 minutes. And I wanted to do that to show how there are things accessible to us for the free. For self-care. YouTube has a plethora of opportunities for you to do some mindfulness, other types of meditations. It's there. It's there and available for you. So, did you enjoy that one, Kim?
I absolutely enjoyed that. And you know what's fun? As soon as we did it, what happened? I realized that there was tension in my face.
Wow.
My face immediately relaxed, and I didn't even realize that there was tension in my face.
See?
And then, of course, when it said to move your shoulders, I noticed there was a little tension in my shoulders.
Yeah.
You know? And so even when we think that we're relaxed, until somebody tells us to take a deep breath, we don't realize how shallow our breathing is.
Mm-hmm.
Until we're asked to roll our shoulders, we don't realize how much tension is in there. Like I said, I didn't realize that there was tension in my face until I relaxed. And that's what these mindfulness exercises are all about. It activates your mind to connect with your body and to realize those things, you know. And this is something, like I said, that I do in the morning before I get out of bed. I need to tune in and check in with my body to make sure that there are no check engine lights on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yes.
Like, watch them knees.
Okay. So I'm not sounding like a transformer getting out of the bed. Everything is cracking and popping and all the things.
All the things.
But it's good to be able to, like you said, to focus and to center back to ourselves. It's a powerful thing when you really tap into these mindfulness meditations. And we definitely love the ones that are guided ones, especially if it's something new to you and you're not familiar with this. You may not know how to meditate independently. You know, people like Sheronda and myself have been doing these for a number of years, and so we can tap in. But I know, at least when I started, and I'm sure you did when you started as well, those guided meditations are wonderful because they help you to familiarize yourself with what that meditation looks like.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That was a good one, Sheronda. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
All right. So,
Kim, I'm going to step away for a quick second, but keep going, okay?
Sure. Okay. Practical self-care practices. Okay. These are things that we need to focus in on when we're talking about self-care, when we're talking about creating healthy habits. And that's something that, I talk about even with this 365-day challenge. We've been talking about creating healthy habits. And so some of those can look like how you're sleeping. How do you prepare yourself for sleep? How do you prepare yourself for rest? Okay. It's important that we get enough sleep and a restorative type of sleep so that that way our body has a chance to heal and repair itself. We're releasing those things that, or those stressors or that tension of the day, and we're getting good sleep. Do you know that there are some people who get sleep or say they get 6 hours of sleep, but it's not a a restorative sleep. It's a choppy sleep. Sometimes it's that sleep where they're getting up and you're getting up several times during the night. And so it's not that restorative, complete sleep. So they still wake up feeling groggy. They still wake up not feeling rested.
Yes.
A lot of that comes from how we prepare ourselves for sleep. What are we doing to bring ourselves to that space of peace so that we can get that restorative sleep that we need? So like I said, we just talk a little bit about sleep. You can chime in a little bit more about sleep as well.
Absolutely. Because I probably am not as conscious as some people are about white noise or different things that they do. But I like my room to be my place of solace. So one of the things that I make sure of is keeping like even my bed sheets and comforters and pillowcases clean. Because for me, good smells make me feel, they just make me feel yummy and happy. So it helps me sleep better when I know my stuff smells like Gain. I mean, that's just what it is. That's what I use. I use Gain. I love some Gain. I love laundromat smell. I don't, you know what I mean by laundromats?
Yes.
Laundromats have such a good smell, that yummy little bit of bleach here, a little bit of detergent here, fabric softener, fabric sheets. And that does it for me. That looks different for everybody. Whatever you need to prepare for sleep is what you need. But there are certain things that will overstimulate you. Watching TV or the phone entirely too much before sleep, and Kim probably already mentioned this, will keep you stimulated.
Yes.
It keeps the brain to do something. The brain is stimulating and saying, what else can I worry about? What else can I think about? Oh my God, that's happening. Oh no, that happened. Oh no. Oh, that's funny. And the brain is moving. We can slow the brain down as much as possible by listening to meditations like we just played. There are like 8-hour meditations or ocean music. I love you too. Uninterrupted. That you can listen to the crickets. If that's what you like, the crickets will keep me up. I'm just gonna say it. But some people like that sound of nature sounds. Whatever soothes you, it's a beautiful form of self-care.
That's it. That's it. Just like you said, talking about temperature too. Some people suggest that you keep the room cool. Some like to have it warm. I'm a person who, I'm mummified. I wrap myself in those blankets. It's almost like a chrysalis. I should come out with wings. I really should. Every morning I should just come out black butterfly. I should just have wings because I'm wrapped up in those blankets. But there's
I love
a
my
comfort
household.
to me. It's almost embryonic to me to just be wrapped in those blankets, and there's a comfort that comes from that. Sometimes I like complete silence when I sleep. Sometimes I like to have those frequencies. So there are so many things, ways that you can prepare yourself for sleep. Again, like I said, so that sleep becomes deep and restorative.
Absolutely.
Those are that's the type of sleep that we need beyond that REM sleep.
Yes.
We want to be able to go into that next level of sleep. It's also good to do, you hear people say to do your gratitude journal in the evening. So that way you're going to bed with positive thoughts in your mind. After you're saying your prayers or, getting yourself prepared. It's all in that preparation too that's going to help you. That's part of those self-care practices. Being, like I said, getting yourself in position for those things that are coming, those wonderful transitions. Okay. And then the next one that they talk about is hydration.
Yeah. That's why I had to take a quick break just now. I've been hydrating so much today that I had to run to the little girl's room real quick because I'm drinking water. But one of the things I learned as an adult was the importance of hydration is keeping the fluids in your cells to the cellular level will prevent a lot of physical diseases,
Right.
diabetes, high blood pressure. If you are well hydrated, and I've heard so many people be like, I don't like water. Learn to, because your body's made, majority of who you
Your
are is
body is
water.
made of water.
So that's why we need so much hydration, and we can practice these physical self-care practices by hydrating. It makes you feel better. You have the tears to blink. You know your nose can clear itself better because you got some
That's
fluid
right.
in there. The saliva, all those things. When you don't hydrate well enough, your body and organs are affected. Period.
Yes, and then and it is so important to have water in the morning when we talk about sleeping. You're waking up from sleep, having that full bottle of water or cup of water, because all of the sludge and all of the mucus and things that have formulated in your body
Dust.
while you were sleeping, you're cleansing that out. And you're really cleansing that palate and cleansing your whole body. And that way your body is ready to take in those nutrients of the day. So hydration is so important. We're getting into the winter months, so it's going to start going, from fall into winter, and your skin, you're gonna be your
Ooh.
skin can get so dry looking, and you're able to squeeze it, and yet there's no
There's
moisture
no
in
moisture.
your skin. You know what I'm saying? And so it's so important that hydration become a norm. And
Y'all used to keep them Jerry curls hydrated. Anyway, go ahead, Kim. You let your soul glow.
Very true.
Go ahead.
Okay. But yes, you definitely want to get that water, get that hydration in, so that way you're allowing things to move through your body, and you're helping it to do that through that hydration. You hear so much about dehydration. People, oh, I don't know. Think about how
Yeah,
much water you're drinking during the day, and can you stand to drink another cup or two of water?
yeah.
Or even if it's just one cup, because
Whole
there are
bag.
people who go all day with no water at
Yeah,
all, and just think about your skin, think about your hair, think about all of the things that are going on and how this hydration can affect you.
can affect it.
Go and Google
Yeah,
what they say about hydration and the importance of hydration. It's all about educating ourselves too. We
yeah,
don't know what we don't know,
yeah. But
you know.
even when Kim mentioned movement, bowel movements, they come. People who are not having enough bowel movements are usually dehydrated. When Kim was talking about when you have to release, whether it's through sweat
Right.
or through our system to let go of the waste, it's water. That
That's right.
stuff is from water. You have to hydrate yourself so everything can move and your body can recycle itself.
That's
Even the
right.
dead skin that's going to fall off your body, it needs the hydration.
That's
You've
right.
got to do it in order for your body to process everything correctly. Even dementia has been related to dehydration. So you have
Mm,
to be certain, as hard as it can be, figure out ways. Put a little slice of lemon, a slice of lime, whatever you need to
right.
do. Some kind of
Cucumbers, whatever.
fruit.
Yeah.
Yes, because I just read up today, and I'm going to buy a bag of lemons tomorrow about the importance of lemon water first thing in the morning. Because I
Yes.
drink water, but then I
Yes.
found out how good it is for the liver, which is another organ that helps us break down stuff and create waste. So I'm
Right.
like, of course I'm going to get some lemons, and I make my lemon water,
There you go.
hot lemon water tea or something. I don't know. But we're
That's
gonna do
it. That's it. But just like you said, when you're expelling that water through your body is going to tell you if you're getting enough water by the color of your urine.
Yep.
They always talk about that as well. Is it clear? Is it a light yellow?
Yeah,
That tells a lot too.
it
So
does.
you know what I'm saying? But if you're going to the doctor and you can't even give a urine sample because you don't have enough water in your body to even produce, the waste that needs to come through,
Needs to come through.
there's a lot to say. We
Your
can go
kidneys,
on and
your
on
kidneys
about
are angry about it. I can tell you that right now.
furious, furious. So again, hydration is something that is critical
Hmm.
to your self-care practices. We have to keep ourselves hydrated.
Come on, yes.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
All right. And the next is movement.
Hmm.
Okay. I am a huge proponent of moving your body. I am 55 years old.
Hmm.
I need to move my body, strength training, exercise, walking, You know, that's a big one. We have all of these watches and all these fancy things that help us to tell us to get moving and to remind us to walk or to move, because a lot of us, especially if we're working in an office environment, we are sitting for several hours during the day. Okay, it affects our body. You have people that are getting arthritis, osteoarthritis, and rheumatoid arthritis, and other kinds of, because we're sitting, especially if you're in customer service and you're sitting for hours, or you're in front of a computer and you're not sitting in an ergonomically correct chair. We have to get up and move our bodies. Even if you drink the water so you can get up to pee, okay?
Because that's what's gonna do it.
If that's what you need to do to make you get up to move, then let that be what you use to move. In my office, I have a walking pad. So I have one of those little walking pads, and so I get up periodically and I walk on my little portable treadmill. So that way I'm getting some movement. I have one of those little peddlers under there, and I know Sheronda has one as well. If we're sitting, then I get on it and I'll have my legs moving underneath my desk. I have to move. You have to move, especially as you get older. Cardio is good, but strength training, especially as you get older, because your muscles will atrophy if you do not move. If your knees, you see a lot of people, I was just talking about that today. We have some really bad walking people out there because we're not moving our bodies. And so then our bodies have to compensate how we walk. And I mean, we some bad walking people.
Bad
walking, because our knees, our ankles, all kinds of things, our hip joints, we're not getting any type of quote unquote oil or lubrication to those muscles, and it's causing us to, like I said, causing our muscles to atrophy, causing them not to move in the way that they need to, and it causes a lot of problems. And the older we get, the worse it gets.
Let me see if I can slide in here real quick on Kim. And so one of the things I learned to do, I park further from the store. If nothing else, I'm not picking the first parking spot. I'm going to pick something that's going to require, because I know I'm going to walk through the store anyway. Further parking spot makes me walk. And I do a lot of walking with my side gig anyway, but I still try to choose opportunities that's going to allow me to just move my body a little bit more. I have my little pedal, like Kim says, so I'll sit and pedal. Because I had surgery on my foot, I can't do the walking. So when the doctor told me stop doing it because my foot kept breaking. So he was like, okay, don't walk so much, but you could do bikes. So when I was going to the gym regularly, that's where I went. I didn't go get on a treadmill. I went and jumped on the bike and paddled myself and watched it. I worked for an orthopedic doctor. My desk was a stand-up desk. I had the option, but when we had clients in, especially, I stood up. So I would lift the desk up, and then now I got to walk around, slide around in the chair in the office trying to reach for things. You up and you're walking around, going to the printer and doing all these things. And his biggest thing he preached was the 30 minutes. He said at least do 30 minutes of cardio per day. He said if you can't do nothing else, because it was heart health for him. Even as an orthopedic doctor, he's like, he already knows that that's going to help the body physically, right? But he's like, your heart though. He said people's hearts aren't getting enough cardio in them. So make sure you're doing at least 30 minutes, 5 days a week. That's what he said. 355. And that's what we called it. And that's what we had to preach to every person that walked in the door.
I love it. I love it. Movement is medicine, okay, for your body. Okay. And then, of course, nutrition.
Of course, nutrition.
You already know. You already know. If you know anything about me in nutrition, it's all about what we're putting into our bodies.
Yes.
There are so many processed foods and things that are under the guise of being sugar-free, GMO-free, all of these things. And we have to be stewards of our nutrition, of what we're putting into our body and the effects that the things that we put in our bodies are having on us. Are we looking at those labels? We have to start looking at our labels, my friends. We have to look at them and see what it is that we're putting into our bodies. I look and I try to see if it's not fresh fruits and vegetables. I'm trying to look and say, okay, does it have at least 5 ingredients? If it starts having more, it starts having things that I can't pronounce, then I'm like, okay, this may not be something that's good for my body. And I'm also noticing that as I'm getting older, there are certain things that my body cannot tolerate. One thing that I found out recently that I cannot have, we were having a meeting and they had sandwiches. And even though I had a turkey sandwich, I cannot eat the processed meat. I cannot do like lunch meat, used to get little sub sandwiches. My stomach says, no, ma'am.
I would cry.
And that's been more recently. And I'm like, man,
Don't
so
tell me
now,
that.
I have to have like the little salads.
Like
because
sliced turkey? Sliced
yeah,
turkey.
like I can't do the sliced turkey, any type of lunch meat like that. Cannot do it. And I already don't eat ham or, other than that. But now it's like, oh, okay, I can still do like the turkey sandwiches.
No.
My stomach turned upside down the last time I had it. And I was like, what is going on? And then also because if you're starting to eat better and you're doing things, as soon as you try to go back to what you thought you could go back to eating, your body says, what is that? What are we doing? We don't do that. And so my stomach said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. It was like, nope, we need to release this.
I'm so disappointed, and I don't even want to imagine. Milk has already betrayed me. Okay, milk.
Okay. A lot of people lactose intolerant.
I've been drinking milk all my life. I can eat cheese.
I need cheese.
Milk or ice cream. I ain't say I don't still risk it all.
Because you're going to.
Because I'm going to risk it all. Occasionally.
Right.
But boy, let me try to eat a bowl of the kids' cereal. All day. I'm done. Man down. It's not right. So yeah, nutrition plays a major part in it. Kim, that's one of the easier things. Between hydration and nutrition are the easiest things for me in self-care. Because I love salads. Even right now, we had some green onions I got from the store. Cut them up, put them in a salad. Took the ends, put it in some clean water, open the blinds, let the sun get to it. They done grew back. I'm going to use my green onions again.
Okay.
Nutrition is one of those things that's a little bit easier for me. And especially with health diagnoses, I know what not to eat and what to eat. And learning from you about what she said, reading the ingredients. If it's got 1 trillion of them, run. Because they're trying to, and you're not drinking enough water and you letting all these ingredients sit in your body. Anyway, but so I'm mindful about the fruits. Even for my kids, I don't buy the stuff. I just don't put it in the house. Because guess who's going to eat it with the kids? Let there be a little Debbie in here.
Okay.
I need one. 10-pack. I'm going to get one out of there.
Right. Make sure they taste all right. Make sure
it tastes right. Make sure everybody's safe.
Not expired.
Right. So I intentionally buy for snacks with them apples, mandarin oranges, bananas, grapes when they're not entirely too expensive. Because you said berries?
Yes, my grandbaby loves blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. Antioxidant berries are wonderful. Berries are a wonderful.
Blueberries, girl.
Yes, blueberry. She's going to turn into a blueberry. She is, because she loves her some blueberries.
I love that because they're
blueberries and raspberries and blackberries too. She likes blackberries too.
And blackberries.
Yes. So berries are good. Just like you said, overall nutrition is just figuring out what works best for you. Yes. I know that right now we're in the season where we're trying to promote people starting gardens and doing things like that because food is getting expensive. We're already seeing that now. We're hearing about all of these things that are going on in our government right now. Yes. And so, we have to really start being conscious about those things that we're eating, the amount of food that we're eating, and that the food that we're eating is going to have to be more substantive, because when things start getting into a pinch, we tend to go to those staple foods like rices and potatoes and those things that, and pastas, those things that are heavy. But are those the things that are going to sustain us long term? They're not. And so we have to figure out some alternatives for that. So that way the food that we are eating satiates us longer, so that we're not having to run back, because you're going to eat that rice like that, and the next thing you know, it's going to go through you and you're going to be hungry again.
They have 2 little Italians in here. At least they think they are.
Okay.
All they
That's
want is
it.
spaghetti, lasagna, some kind of
That's it.
roni.
And those are staple foods, and we've been conditioned to eat those things, but they're not going to satiate us in the long run. So we have to
Oh,
really start, considering our nutrition and those things that we're eating. So, like you
yep.
said, those are just a few of those self-care practices that we have to start making a
Yeah.
habit.
And that's for the physical. Let's move to the
Yes.
next. Because now we're going to talk about the emotional self care, right? So, journaling, writing your thoughts down, emptying those brains, that really is a good form of self care. You're taking care of yourself by getting it out, period. Go ahead, Kim.
That's it.
No,
Just
I
like you
don't
said.
talk long.
No, just like we're talking about gratitude journals. I mean, and writing those things down as well.
Mhm.
Okay, therapy, making sure again that we're expressing ourselves.
Mhm.
That it's so important when we're talking about emotional self care. If we don't have the words that we need to describe what it is that we're feeling, that's where the frustration and that's where the reactions and the outburst comes from, because we don't have the words that we need. And
Yeah,
sometimes we need to speak to someone that's going to help us to identify what it is that we're going through emotionally.
absolutely. I was gonna say therapy next, but yes, therapeutic stuff helps. The reason you feel so emotionally drained is because you're not getting it out. Your brain is going to tell you what it wants you to think. But when you go to therapy, you have somebody to just give you a consideration of think something different. That's the point of therapy. Therapy is there just to give you a new consideration of what you were just thinking, right?
Absolutely.
Think about what you're thinking about. But if it's just stuck in your head, you're just going to be telling yourself the same thing over and over. So the next one is setting boundaries. This is my favorite emotional. D&D. Do not disturb is a form of self-care. Did y'all know that? Being able to turn that phone when my kids are home, I'm fine. I don't really care who calls me at that point. It can't be that important. Well, I'll find out when this phone is off do not disturb. But sometimes the phone gets overwhelming. People will call and call and call, and everything's beeping, 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 and you're running to it, and you're emotionally overly stimulated. That's what's happening. So, setting a boundary, creating a clear line of after 8 o'clock, I'm not taking any more calls because now I want to start winding down for the night. Now I want to take better care of myself. I don't want to hear any bad news. So, setting boundaries. Again, Kim said, what is this month? The month of what?
This is the month of November. November. Okay. And it's about saying I know. Okay. That is something that is so critical. No is not a rejection. Okay. No is allowing you to be able to set, not just set boundaries, but also to make it where you're giving yourself opportunities to do things.
Mhm.
If you're setting boundaries and you're telling people no, now you're saying yes to yourself. You're saying yes to the time that you need to do the things that are going to help to take you to the next level.
Yeah,
It's all about not being rejection, but being something that's going to affirm you as an individual. It's going to affirm those things that you want to do. You're
yes,
pouring back into yourself by
absolutely.
saying no.
Yep. And this last one is giving yourself grace. It's just letting yourself make the mistakes. The reason most people are bound up emotionally because they think they have to be perfect. I run into this every single day of the people who have to show up, and if they aren't perfect, then they're gonna chase you down to prove that they are. They're gonna find a way to make the story right for them to be right. But you could give yourself. You're allowed to be wrong, you know.
Right,
I'm
right.
not even gonna say that. You're allowed to be human, you know. It's okay if you make a mistake. It's okay to say, I'm sorry. It's okay to say, I can't do this right now. It's okay to fold and say, I'm going to get in my bed instead of go to this event that I promised somebody I was going to show up to. Give yourself the grace to be okay with you. You're not built or made or born to be something for everyone at all times. Self-care is you addressing you in the moments that you can't do it, just saying I can't, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you can't do it today, you just can't. You don't feel like taking a shower tonight? Do it in the morning. It's okay. Give yourself grace to have a little breathing room, let your hair down a little bit, and be good.
I love that. When nobody is perfect. I love to say I am perfectly imperfect.
Child.
Okay, and I think that's it. We've been conditioned to believe that we have to be perfect. But what is perfect?
Yeah.
What is that? And by whose standard?
People are showing up that way because somebody criticized them, made them feel bad about themselves. So now they're overcompensating.
Mm-hmm.
And now but then they turn around and be mad at everybody for needing them too. But you show up as everybody thinks you've got it together. Of course they're coming to you. They're coming to you because you've nicely painted whatever you did.
Right.
And every story you tell is perfect. Everything that you do is great. There are no mistakes ever shown. People come to, I understand it now.
Mm-hmm.
People come drifting over there because show me how to do that thing that looks so good. That's all it is that they want. But you got to let your hair down sometimes and be like, fuck that. No, I can't do it. Today I can't do it.
And everything is not going to be perfect. If that was the case, we wouldn't be doing this. We wouldn't be doing the show. I wouldn't have started my business. I would have started my podcast if it was all about waiting for everything to be perfect and aligned. I had to give myself grace. Sometimes, like I said, I've been doing this 365-day challenge for 312 days. Do you think that it's been perfect every day? There's some days I'm just like, you know what? And send. Okay. And it's going to be what it is, because it's not going to be, again, by whose standard are we trying to operate?
Ooh.
And what gives that person's standard the right to be the one that's right for me? So again, by what rubric am I going by to say that, oh, this is right or not right?
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the law. Okay. Now there's going to be things, because you can go to jail. Okay. Mm-hmm. But other than that, when we're talking about emotionally caring for ourselves, giving ourselves the grace to say, okay, they keep saying, well, better, do better. Well, you got to do wrong in order to do better, or something's got to be not quite right in order to be.
People I hate, they hurt themselves, child.
You've got to give yourself grace. You've got to say, okay, all right. And then more importantly, when you give yourself grace, what's that next step?
That part.
What are you doing about it?
That part.
Okay.
Or you don't have to do nothing about it. That's the beautiful part about giving yourself grace. Nobody has to do nothing. You don't have to. You can choose to. But grace is just saying, damn, I can't.
Right.
You don't have to do nothing.
I love that.
Nothing.
And that's true.
That's grace.
That is grace.
I don't have to do a damn thing. Nothing.
A doggone thing. You're right. All right. Moving on. All right. Spiritual self-care. We love this one. Meditation. We've talked about that already. We've actually practiced that already. Okay. Prayer. Okay. That's your communication between you and source. Mm-hmm. Okay. You and whomever you choose is that higher entity, that higher being.
Yeah.
All right. Prayer, that conversation. Okay. That reverence of being able to talk and to be able to express yourself to source. So prayer is something that's huge.
I love prayer. For me, meditation is listening. Prayer is me talking. For me. In meditation, I sit and just allow to be poured into. Prayer is the time I need to talk or ask or give praise, whatever that in that moment of prayer. That's how I see those two things.
Love it. Love it. Time in nature. Whew, grounding. We love that.
You see the little waterfall in the background of this picture?
Okay. Vitamin D. There are so many benefits to being out in nature, being one with nature, being able to breathe in that fresh air,
Absolutely.
being able to ground our feet, Mother Earth, just being able to connect energetically
Okay.
with what's going on outside. Time
Yeah.
in nature is always it's always restorative, at least for me.
Yes. Nature's been my thing since I was a child. I grew up in the South. We didn't have no cable. It was like, I remember when we first got our first light pole out there, okay?
Right.
There was no lights, it was dark. But I spent all my time climbing. I used to climb a tree and I had my specific limb that would climb up there and take a book. I really did. And would lay across this limb because it just looked like a little arm that would look like a little cradle. And so I would crawl right there and lay there and read books and just chill
Wow.
out. And I played with my cousins. We used to walk through the woods. Sometimes we see an alligator and take off running. There was deer around, and I grew up on the coast of South Carolina, so we went to the beach and we collected seashells all the time. And it was just that was a simpler time, of course, but
Yeah.
it always when I go back home and I'm able to connect with that space. So my dad still lives on that land. That is still the land is still in the family where I grew up on. That still takes me into a spiritual place. As a little girl, I just walked through. It was an acre of land. I just walked by myself. The smell of fresh cut grass. My dad used to let me cut the grass with our riding lawnmower. We had apple trees in the backyard, the plums, little plums that come up orange and yellow and things like that. Persimmon tree. He tried to grow a peach tree, but I don't remember ever seeing a peach on it. I really don't. But just that those smells are still familiar, and I still could pull that into my spiritual practice because those experiences are so real for me still. I could pull them into my spiritual practice of meditation, of my prayer time, and be able to reconnect with nature without even being physically there. But even my home right now, I have a beautiful backyard that deer think they should jump my fence because I don't have no opening. They leap over my fence and come eat my grass. There's grass on the other side, but they were like, "No, I want you."
Right.
And the
Takes back.
birds, girl, the blue jays been showing up lately. There's
Oh,
the blue jays are just beautiful.
gorgeous.
Oh my god! And cardinals and things like that. We've had bunnies out here. The birds will build nests into little crevices of our back patio. It's crazy,
Yes.
but that nature is a form of spiritual self care. So just take your time and let the sun touch your body a little bit. Get some vitamin D.
Yes. We're inside a lot. And so, so if step outside, any opportunity you get to step outside is going to be restorative. Okay. And then, of course, finally, it has gratitude practice. We talked about that as well. Just being grateful for those small things that are happening
Yeah,
around us, and just taking time to list those things because it puts us in a space of peace, of appreciation for the things that we have.
yeah,
Because sometimes we forget, we're so caught up in those grandiose things, those things that are big, that we forget to be thankful for the fact that when we flip that light switch, the lights come on. When we turn that key this morning, that the car started, maybe. Okay.
hopefully.
All right. So there are things to be grateful for that are, that we take for granted. And
Yeah,
but when we stop and think about it, you know,
yeah.
that's when it becomes more meaningful.
Yeah, and I've always heard that gratitude opens you up for more things to flow in. Because if you're so busy staring at what you don't have, you can't even see what's coming in. So when you are practicing gratitude, you're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that." Then all of a sudden, here comes something else showing up, and you get to bear witness to its presence. So yeah, gratitude is a big one.
Yes, it is.
Is this our last next one?
Yeah, we have two more, one more after this.
Okay, so I think it's our last practical self care practice. Practical self care. Anyway, social self care. I don't do this enough, like physically. I do
Mhm.
a lot of socializing through, Facebook and stuff like that, Zoom meetings and things like that. But social self care is important. It's important to surround yourself with people, with supportive people. Let's be clear. Let's say it correctly.
Okay.
With supportive people because it makes you number one feel less alone. You feel so much that connection will get you out of your head. But then you have people who are saying, "Go you," Have somebody around there just letting you know, I'm proud of you for the moves you're making. I know you went through this thing here, but look at you moving in this direction right here. It keeps you going. So social self-care is imperative. You have to find a way to connect with others.
That's it. And then you always have that little circle, your little circle of people who are in alignment with what you're doing. And just like Sheronda said, who are there to cheer you on. People who are like minded. If you're out socially and you're going to events, are you going to places with people who are like minded?
Yes.
Okay. If you're going into a club situation, you may have people that are there for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to a painting class or you're going to a particular, activity
Book
that's like a
signing.
yoga class or
Yeah.
anything, right? You're there with
Tai
people
Chi.
right, that are like-minded,
Yeah.
people who have similar interests. And so, that's where you're going to get that support, where you don't feel like you're by yourself, because these are people who have similar interests. You can have conversations, you can connect and bond that way. And then, of course, you've got your inner circle of people who are really going to be there. They're not going to be fair weather. They're going to be there to go through all the things that you're going through.
Absolutely.
So it's important to have those social, connections. You have to, you can't hide behind the door. You
Right.
can't always live inside a bubble. You've got to come outside.
Yes. And on the other end, saying no. No is a full sentence. N-O, period. Saying no when needed. Back to November. The no November. Saying no when needed. When we're younger and you go through college and you have this group of people that you hang out with, but then people's lives change. You start having children, you get married. There are times you're going to have to learn how to say, I can't come out with y'all today. I got to be home with this baby.
Mhm.
Or I can't come out today because I'm tired and I just want to get some sleep. Or no, I just don't feel like doing this particular event. It's okay to say no sometimes. One end is all about balance, being able to be in social, be out there and hang. And then when you don't have the energy, don't push yourself further than you have to.
That's it. One thing that I talked about, on my challenge yesterday was about no, not being rejection, but being alignment.
Mm-hmm.
Saying no is getting in alignment with those things that are going to serve you.
Serve you.
Okay? Things that are going to serve you. You're getting in alignment. Something in your spidey senses are tingling, saying, "No, I don't think this is what what I'm meant to do."
Yes.
And being able to say that, and to be comfortable with saying that. Again, you're setting boundaries. So definitely, that's social. Say no. Complete sentence.
I love it. I love it.
Right.
So, this is you. System of care. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, that's fine. Look, it says system of care is helpers, healers, and caregivers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now they must prioritize their own wellness. I think about some of us who are older who may even have to be caring for an aging parent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have to prioritize our own wellness in those situations.
Yes.
Okay. My parents took care of my grandmother for 26 years before she passed away. She was 105. That's a long time. You can't say, oh, well, I'm just going to wait until they're gone and then I'm going to live my life. No, you have to prioritize your own wellness so that, again, you're pouring from an overflowing cup.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can't do that if there's nothing in you to give to them. How are you going to be able to support them if your back is hurting and your your body isn't in the best shape, or if you're sick? What happens when you go down, but you're the primary care person for someone else?
Yes.
Are you just going to tell yourself you can't get sick? That's not how it works.
Yes. Helpers, I say this every day. Helpers need helpers, healers need healers. You cannot be someone who takes on other people's issues, because that's what happens in the self-care system. I mean, in the system of care is usually you're a nurse, social worker, doctor, the system of care that exists out here. And you're out here caregiving to the sick people with mental health issues, people with social needs. They need welfare. They need whatever it is. That's beautiful that you're in that line of work, but you can't forget about you. You have to get the help you need. pastors have to have pastors. Did y'all know that? People see these people and they think, oh, they're so wonderful because they help me do X, Y, and Z, but they need help to balance out your mess too. And there's nothing wrong with you bringing it to them. They just need to take their stuff to someone else as well. It just has to be a system of care for each other.
That's right.
Finding ways to make sure that we are well, because there's no way that I could do the work that I do as a life coach. And I tried it for a minute, but and didn't realize how much I needed my therapist at the time. It's not because something was wrong. It's because I was taking on so many people's problems and not working through my own that made it a little more difficult. So once I found that balance, and I learned that the healthier I was mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, the healthier my children were. They didn't have a fussy mother. They didn't have somebody who's don't communicate with them or just walk in the door and won't play with them because I'm burnt out. You have to be able to take care of yourself.
Absolutely. I think that last sentence says it best. It says a healthy system of care begins with healthy individuals within it. Again, we have to take care of ourselves, and they always tell you to check on those people that are the strongest in your circle, because they're people who are caring for others and trying to help and heal others. And so we have to check in with them as well to make sure that they're healing themselves as well. Sometimes we can give advice, but that doesn't mean that we always follow it.
Exactly.
Okay. We can give the best advice and we can have the solutions for everybody else's problems and then don't have the solutions for our own. And they say, well, how is that possible? It's possible. It is possible. Psychiatrists have psychological issues sometimes themselves. We can sometimes see things, or sometimes we can place ourselves outside of that and then can't take our own advice. And so, we need people to reel us in. We, like I said, coaches need coaches. Caregivers need caregivers themselves. They need people to give them those gentle reminders to take care of self.
Absolutely. Yep.
And I think that's it. I think we're done.
There should be one more. Okay. So to conclude us with this conversation of the importance of self-care, filling your cup first, self-care is a daily love letter to yourself, a reminder that your well-being matters. It's not indulgence, it's maintenance for your soul. So today, take one step, big or small, towards your own care. Rest when you're tired, nourish your body, protect your peace. Because when you care for yourself, everything around you begins to bloom.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Y'all, please make sure that you subscribe, like, follow, share by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Okay, make sure that you tap in and that you DM us and let us know those things that you'd like to have us talk about or to share with you. And look forward to you connecting with us.
Yes, so thank you, everyone. And as we say every day, every time we show up for y'all, we love you. Peace.